Good morning, students. In today's session, we are going to see challenges of smart grid implementation, voltage stability assessment, voltage stability, and voltage collapse. The first topic is challenges of smart grid implementation. The challenges of smart grid implementation should include load change, and also it should record the real-time information on system topology and devices contributing to system changes, and also if there is any changes in with respect to the decision maker of real time status, that is location of your system parameter, it should also be recorded. So these are all the challenges. The first challenge is going to be including the timestamp of load change. Second challenge is they do not account for real time information on system topology and devices contributing to system changes. And third point, they do not inform the decision maker of real time status, location of system parameter. So all these challenges has to be taken into consideration when we are going for the architecture implementation under smart grid. So either the architecture could be a DOE architecture or it could be a intelligent grid architecture. DOE architecture will be decided by the Department of Energy, whereas the intelligent grid architecture can be implemented depending upon the updated technology, like communication wise and control wise. If any updation needs to be done, it could be incorporated with the implemented technology as well. So when implementing, so we need to focus on the 3 points that is mainly a challenges that is faced under smart grid implementation. Next, voltage stability algorithm. So to understand the study of this voltage stability, we have an algorithm. First one is going to be the start. We are going to start the algorithm, configuration of the system. What type of configuration we are going to use we are going to connect the system, whether it is a ring shaped or radial shape or it is a mesh network. So the configuration of the system has to be identified. After that, fault simulation sensitivity analysis needs to be done to understand the voltage stability algorithm. For that, you have to understand whether any faults has been occurred between line to line or line to ground or line to neutral. So different types of fault simulation has to be done. Is the system is power smart, and if any of your fault occurs, then automatically it will go to the configuration of the system, and wherever it has to be disconnected, it will be disconnecting with the available devices. And also we have a system stability analysis, continuous studies continuously with respect to all these parameters will be taken into account for continuous studies, and system stability analysis will be taken into account. So when we are doing so, we have SE and PMU, that is synchro phasers or PMU, phasor measurement unit. This particular unit is mainly meant for data filtering. Why this unit is required? In the sense, in order to record the data, and also only the appropriate data on the system parameter will be recorded. Second point is going to be the practical index for voltage stability analysis. What is the minimum and maximum voltage range based on your input and estimated system parameter? So that practical index for voltage stability range needs to be fixed. Then assessment for your preventive action and corrective action to guide the decision maker. If the voltage has been exceeding the set limit, or if the voltage is below the set limit, then what needs to be done, and what are all the different components that has to be connected to the smart grid, or it has to be disconnected to the smart grid, that will be decided. Even that will be considered as a faulty system. So when you are doing a fault analysis, all these algorithm points will be taken care in this particular scenario. Then OPF is nothing but optimal power flow. Optimal power flow is to overcome your collapse or instability. So we have to include the scheme that is required both for your bulk power system as well as your distributed network. So in the configuration of the system, first we have to analyze whether it is going to be the ring type network or mesh type network or nodal type network, or whether it is going to be the bulk power system or distributed power system. So all these things will be uh, taken care with the configuration of the system. Once the configuration of the system is done, then it has to go for the fault simulation, and it has to focus on all the points whatever it is mentioned over here. It is the general algorithm that is focusing on your voltage stability algorithm. Next is going to be the voltage assessment. Voltage stability assessment. Voltage stability assessment will have many definitions for this voltage stability. It is a fast phenomena for the engineers which involves the operation of induction motor or air conditioning or loads or HVDC links, while it is a slow phenomena for others. Like for example, when you are using a mechanical tap changing, it is a slow phenomena. So voltage stability can be analyzed for two things. One is with respect to the fast phenomena and second one with respect to the slow phenomena. If it is going to be the fast phenomena, it will be focusing on the operation of induction motor, air conditioning, loads and HVDC links. Suppose if it is going to be the slow phenomena, then it is going to focus on other things apart from operation of your induction motor, air conditioning, loads, HVDC links. Apart from that, whatever it is available, it is going to focus. One such example for focusing your slow phenomena is your mechanical tap changing. And also voltage instability, it could either be a voltage collapse or it could be a voltage drop. So you have to focus on both a static voltage stability and dynamic voltage stability, whether it is going to fall under your voltage collapse or it is going to fall under the voltage drop. So this voltage instability or collapse is the dynamic process. And also in terms of stability, the term stability whatever we are using here, it will imply a dynamic system that is being going to be discussed over here. And also a power system is a dynamic system in contrast to your rotor angle, that is synchronous stability. The dynamics that involve mainly the loads and the means for voltage control is very important. And also the voltage stability is all alternative for your load stability analysis. Next is going to be your small signal. In dynamic voltage stability analysis, we are going to focus exactly on your transformer, SVC, induction motor and other types of load that include the problem formulation in addition to the model of generators, exciters and other controllers. Suppose if you are going for your uh, losses of lines or generators sometimes cause voltage quality degradation, a phenomena that is attributed to the lack of sufficient reactive reserve when your power system in such a way that the voltage magnitude of the power system is going to get decreased gradually and then rapidly it is going to get it collapse. So that particular point of time is also being recorded. And voltage stability can be subdivided into dynamic voltage stability, small signal voltage stability and large signal voltage stability. So in case of your dynamic voltage stability, it is going to extract the models of your transformer, SVC, induction motor and other types of loads. When you are doing so, here the small signal voltage stability problems are going to be formulated with respect to different algebraic equations which have not been linearized about the point of equilibrium. So to do so, what we are going to do is we are going to find out the eigenvalues. Eigenvalue is nothing but it is just like a pole what you people are doing it with the control system. It could be identified by means of the characteristics equation. The roots of the characteristics equation whatever we are going to identify from the given transfer function or from the given differential equation, it is going to give a eigenvalue. The placement of your eigenvalue will define the uh, whether the system is going to be stable or it is going to be unstable with respect to your static behavior or dynamic behavior. Therefore, eigenvalue analysis is going to be the important one to analyze the system dynamic behavior. And also it is going to focus on to this whether it is going to focus on whether small signal analysis or large disturbance signal. So if it is going to focus on to the small signal analysis, it is going to give only the modes of voltage instability and location of your VAR compensation and designing controllers. Suppose if it is going to focus on large disturbance voltage stability, then it is going to focus on the modeling technique, having a numerical simulation technique, and also the system dynamics can be described by means of a nonlinear differential equation, an algebraic equation. So once it is mathematical modeling is done, the non-linearization can be converted to a linearization in nature, and the mechanism of voltage collapse can be explained by means of your saddle node bifurcation. And also the voltage collapse can be analyzed by means of your center manifold voltage collapse model. Next is going to be the voltage stability and voltage collapse. First, we should understand what is meant by voltage stability and what is meant by voltage collapse. First, we will go for the voltage stability. So, voltage stability is always refers to as a steady state viability problem, which is mainly suitable for a static analysis technique. Here, the ability to transfer your reactive power from production source to consumption sinks during your steady operating region during this particular point. Then a power system with a safe operating area, and when it is subjected to a disturbances, when it undergoes voltage collapse, the post disturbance of your equilibrium voltage will also be pre-specified, and a significant amount of system voltage will get collapsed. So this collapse may be total collapse in voltage or it could be a partial one. So you assume a power system, you under a certain increase or decrease in your reactive load. So when it all of a sudden it increases in the reactive power demand, then you have to follow the system contingency for any addition in demand. So if any additional demand is there, then for example you are having a system over here and here you are having a load. So if the load is going to work under your lagging power factor, to make this power factor to unity, it absorbs certain amount of reactive power from the source. If the load is going to be a leading load, then to reduce the power factor to unity, then it gives certain amount of power to your source. It means that power absorption and power consumption takes place depending upon the additional reactive power demand that may leads to over voltage collapse in part of your system. The typical system sequences, what is going to take place with respect to your system voltage stability, in the sense when the power system is experiencing abnormal condition in the sense with respect to the current rating, with when the short circuit occurs, enormous amount of current flows through the circuit. When it gets open circuited, the open circuit voltage will be available, it will be equal to zero. So it's such type of abnormal operating condition when the power system is going to encounter with the larger generating unit and the load being under service. So here we have to consider the EHV lines are heavily loaded and the reactive power sources are also low. So when the transmission line, when the EHV line is going to get heavily loaded, it causes a additional loading and additional losses, which makes the adjacent line also to increase its demand. So what we have to do in the sense, as soon as when the losses has been occurred in the system, you have to take that losses into account, and considerable voltage reduction will also be taken into account, and these combination of events along with the system condition is taken into account, and it is possible only when the additional reactive power demand lead to voltage collapse in part of your system or the completely system. So the resulting reactive power flow through inductance associated with your generator or with your transformer or with respect to your transmission line will increase the voltage drop across each of these elements. So this is the general introduction of your voltage collapse or voltage stability. Thank you, students.